Listening Library presents ChupaCarter and the Curse of La Llorona by George Lopez with Ryan Calejo. Read for you by Jordan Diaz. To the Moon. Thank you for always finding me. GL. To all the ChupaCarter fans out there, thank you. RC. To my family, who patiently waited countless hours for me to finish working. SG. Por favor, amigos, ayúdenme, por favor. How may we be of service? A baffling mystery has befallen my family. I require the assistance of the greatest detective minds in the world. I'll be honest with you, amigo. We aren't cheap. Oh, no worries. I can pay. And I have plenty more where these came from. That's a pretty penny he's offering. And some pretty stinky ones, too. Looks like somebody needs our help. Everyone to the Sleuthmobile. Chapter 1. Okay. I'm lying. That's not how it happened. We weren't super sleuths, and we didn't have an office with a view of Albuquerque and a cool bronze plaque. But you'd be surprised how much trouble a kid from LA can get into when his mom sends him to the middle of Nowheresville, New Mexico, to live on his grandparents' farm. He could meet a chupacabra one night while sitting on his roof, moonwatching. They could become best friends. The chupacabra's name could be Carter. Trust me, it could happen. I know, because it happened to me. My name is George Lopez, and I have a confession to make. My best friend is a 7-foot-tall, blood-sucking monster. And ever since my mom sent me away to live a quiet, normal life, my life has been anything but. Just ask the talking sombrero we teamed up with to find the treasure of El Dorado last month. Or if you think you're brave enough, have a lollipop and chat with the local haunted piñata. They'll tell you. If exercise is more your thing, go for a run with the killer vampire dogs called the Dips. You're guaranteed to get a great workout with them. Anyway, back to the sleuthing thing. Like I said, my 3 best buds and I weren't professional detectives or anything like that. But word about some of the mysteries we'd solved had obviously gotten around, because we finally got our first official case. It happened exactly 1 week after the last day of school. Liza, Ernie, Carter, and I were hanging out in the woods about a mile from my grandparents' farm on a warm, sunny afternoon, climbing trees and just generally goofing around. After everything we'd been through over the last few months, we were all hoping for a nice, peaceful summer. Turns out, things were only about to take a turn for the scary. Somewhere behind me, I heard Ernie shriek, "Ah! A chupacabra!" And Liza and I gave each other looks like, you think he just noticed that about Carter now? But when we turned and spotted the huge, fur-covered, fang-faced monster, who, by the way, most definitely wasn't Carter, the two of us started sounding an awful lot like our pal Ernie. "Ah! A chupacabra!" The monster waved and said hola, showing us a smiley mouthful of gleaming white fangs, which didn't help us feel any less scared. He politely introduced himself. I think he said his name was Pepe, but it was kind of hard to hear him over our shrieks and screams of panic. "Carter! Where's Carter?" I shouted, looking frantically around for backup. "Ah, sí!" The strange chupacabra grinned. "¿Dónde está Carter?" Just then, the big guy dropped down from a mass of thick branches overhead, landing as gracefully as a cat right beside me. "Right here," he said. But suddenly he froze, his eyes narrowing suspiciously on the other chupacabra. "And I'm right there, too?" I could see the supernova of panic exploding in the brown depths of Carter's enormous eyes. "George, how is this possible?" he cried. "Carter, that's not you," Liza tried to explain. "That's another chupacabra." At Liza's inarguable logic, the big guy seemed to relax. A fangy grin that would send any goat, and probably most people, running for its life spread across his furry face. That makes sense. Hola, not me. Pepe, the chupacabra, waved a skinny, clawed hand in return. Hola, Carter. Es un honor. I've very much been looking forward to meeting you and your amigos. You've heard of us? Ernie asked, sounding more than a little surprised, as he peeked cautiously out from over my shoulder. Como no? Said Pepe, with a sheepish giggle. What chupacabra hasn't heard of Carter and his three amigos? You are all muy famosos. Famous for what, exactly? Liza wanted to know. For what? Pepe looked at her like she'd just grown a third eyeball. How about solving el misterio de la haunted piñata? Or finding the lost treasure of El Dorado? Pepe was beaming at us now, happy as a mosquito at a blood bank. I have to say, when I heard how the four of you gave all that treasure back to the people, I almost cried. Whoa. So he really had heard of us. Who told you about all that stuff? I said, honestly curious. Pepe laughed. Gossip is not only a two-footer thing. I'm assuming two-footer was chupacabra slang for humans. Forest animals talk too. You're saying a little birdie told you? Actually, it was a blue jay, said Pepe. He sounded like he might be telling the truth too, so I decided not to poke any more fun. Pajaritos get a nice bird's-eye view of the world and pass along mucha información. Huh. That kind of made sense when he put it like that. Note to self, make sure there aren't any birds flying by when you hide Grandma's cooking pot, so she can't make her infamous pork stew. Do you live around here? Liza asked. Pepe shook his shaggy head. No, mi familia y yo live very near the Sierra Pelona Mountains. Hey, isn't that in Cali? I said, right by Los Angeles. Pepe looked impressed. You know those mountains? Well, not personally or anything, but I'm from L.A. What are you doing way out here? Liza asked the grinning chupacabra. Suddenly, that bright, fangy smile froze, dimmed, and fell into a deep, fangless frown. My clan is in trouble, he revealed in a low voice. He sounded anxious now, scared, and he looked it too. We are about to lose our ancestral home. Chapter 2. Why? What happened? Ernie asked Pepe. The chupacabra shook his head sadly. Nada, yet. But I have seen the two-footers with the red vests. They came in great metal beasts, with 4 round legs that spin and spin and spin. They studied our lands closely, all the way around, measuring them with their strange tools. You mean like surveyors? Said Liza. See, that is the word I heard grandfather use. They were surveyors. Now a sort of gloomy hopelessness filled the large almond eyes. They are going to destroy our tierra, our woods. They are going to kill all the plants and animals and build enormous dead structures like the ones on that long road to the north. He was talking about the strip mall on Yucca Street. The two-footers are coming because Señor Gomez can no longer protect us. That is what Abuelo said. Who's Señor Gomez? Carter and I wanted to know. Maybe you should start from the beginning, Liza suggested. Pepe didn't say a word for a good half a minute. He stared down at his giant clawed toes, as if deciding how much he could say without getting into trouble. When he spoke again, his voice was low and secretive. My grandfather would not like me telling you all of this, he explained slowly. I had to sneak away even to come here. He doesn't want me to get involved. He believes everything will turn out all right.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?